Okie dokie, we should be live. We should be live. Just a quick one, man. Talk some boxing and all that good stuff, man. You know how it is. You guys know how it is. Decent weekend, I guess, coming up. I mean, tonight we've got some good fights. Jojo Diaz versus Javier Fortuna. I actually really like that fight. I think that fight's going to be quite good to watch. Both guys usually come to scrap. I like that fight a lot. You've got the return of Gilberto Ramirez. He's fighting Sullivan Barrera. I think Ramirez will win that fight quite handily, but it'll be interesting to see Ramirez back in the ring. Plus, on that card, you've got Hector Tanajara back in action, and he's fighting an unbeaten prospect by the name of Cepeda. So the zone card tonight is actually pretty good. It's a Golden Boy card. So, yeah, man, I like that card tonight. Really good card. I won't be able to, well, I'll probably have to watch it tomorrow, though, to be honest. I need a relatively early night tonight. But, yeah, it's a good card, man. It's a really good card going down tonight. And tomorrow we have the return of Lyndon Arthur. He's back in action as well. So there's something to look out for this weekend. Not too bad. Not too bad. But nothing too crazy either. One of those weekends. Not the best weekend, not the worst. But big up to Fight Media 360. Big up to you. Yo, salute to Unrivaled Boxing Talk, by the way. I caught your super chat on my other channel, man. So big up to you. Much appreciated. You know, those videos don't get monetized anyway, apart from one. So, yeah, much appreciated, man. Big up to Unrivaled. And we need Unrivaled to return to the boxing scene, man. There's no doubt about it. Is it coming home, Del? I mean, I hope so, man. I hope so. It'll be nice, wouldn't it? But Italy are a well-run team, man. They are well-organised. Everyone knows their position. Everyone knows their part. Just a real good team, you know, a proper team. So Italy's going to be exceptionally hard. I think we need to start with pace in that game. You know, Sterling on one side of Kane, maybe Sancho on the other side of Kane. You want Harry Kane kind of dropping off, drawing out Chiellini and Bonucci, and then the quick players like Sancho and Sterling running behind. Chiellini and Bonucci are great defenders. They are great at set pieces, positionally. But, you know, if they get dragged out of position, we have the pace to hurt them. So that's what we need to be really looking at in this game, in my opinion. We need to be starting some pacey players, man. Big up to Crazy D3. Who have you got on Saturday, Poirier or McGregor? I think the safe bet's Poirier, to be honest, Fight Media. I'd go with Poirier, but it's evenly matched. Who's got a better resume, Joshua or Fury? It depends on how you look at it, AJ Morningstar. I mean, in terms of like singular wins, it's Tyson Fury. You know, his wins over Klitschko and Wilder, to me, eclipse what Joshua's done in terms of individual wins. But Joshua's got far more consistency. He's beaten quite a few top 10 contenders, Povetkin, Parker, Andy Ruiz, Pulev, obviously beat Klitschko as well. So he's beaten top 10 guys and he's beaten good competition himself. But it depends on how you look at it. I rate Joshua's consistency more, I can tell you that. We might get a bank holiday if we win. Fingers crossed, man. I've booked it off anyway, man. So it is what it is. Yes, big up to G-Man Boxing in the house. Salute, bro. Thoughts on Hector Tanajara? Yeah, he's in there with a good fight. William Zepeda. Now, I've not seen too much of William Zepeda, apart from a few highlights here and there. Looks like a strong puncher. Works the body pretty well. Pretty robust. Whereas Hector Tanajara is a guy who is much more of a natural boxer. Quite active as well. Not the biggest puncher. It's a fascinating style matchup, Unrivaled. I actually really like that fight, to tell you the truth. I've never really been all that high on Tanajara, so we'll see. We'll see. Decent fight, though. Yeah, exactly, bro. It's a good fight, man. It's a great fight. Big up to Timmy Nealon in the house. Hopefully you're doing well, bro. I'm sure the Irishmen in the chat are not really happy about me talking about it's coming home. But in all seriousness, gun to my head, I'll probably pick Italy, to be honest. I'll be a pessimist. So if we do lose, I won't be too disappointed. Yeah, it's been a proper crazy week, man. I plan to make more videos, but it's just been a crazy week. So on Wednesday, when I was going to go watch the football, my car fucking broke down. So that was a fucking big rigmarole in itself. And obviously now I've got to sort a new car. So yeah, it's been a bit of a fucking hectic last few days, man. But it is what it is. Can't really change anything, so I'm not going to moan about it. Oh, nice, G-Man. I hope he does come home, mate. My missus has cousins from Luton. Damn, Luton. Damn. Yeah, not a great area, G-Man. Yes, big up to Junior. And by the way, Junior, much appreciated as well for a super chat on the second channel. Much appreciated, bro. Much appreciated, man. This channel is literally my role model channel. Thank you very much, man. Yeah, I need to be a bit more active. I do need to be a bit more active. There's videos I've planned and not made, man. Like, I was going to do a prediction video for Fortuna and Jojo Diaz, but I just never got round to it. So I did a preview in the end. But yeah, I mean, having said that, though, it's not like boxing's exactly popping off right now, is it? So it's one of those things, man. That's true, actually, AJ Morningstar. Yeah, you can't ignore the PED rumours. Just popping in to smash the like, bud. Busy evening ahead. Yes, sir, man. Have a good one, man. Yeah, that's. I wouldn't say Wilder's a complete shit. I mean, he's flawed, but he's dangerous. I'm happy I lived in the UK since '91. Honestly, bro, my honest prediction is 1-0 Italy. I think the safe money's on Italy. They should be favourites. They should be favourites. Oh, it's a Fiesta, G-Man, and I think it's the gearbox. I think it's fucked. So I might just get a little run around for a while. Brandon's got England 2-0. Like to hear it. Thank you, brother, man. Thank you very much. I didn't skip over your points, bro. Yeah, Emerson's the weak link for Italy. I'd agree, yeah. Spinazzola was excellent. He was very good. Thank you, JR Smile, man. There's a lot of great channels out there, man. There's a lot of great channels out there when it comes to boxing. You've got to sift through a lot of shit, but there are some great channels out there. Like G-Man, for example, like Unrivaled. I know Unrivaled is not uploading right now, but he's still got a great channel. England are too athletic for Italy. I think that if we win the game, that's what will do it. I don't think we're tactically better than Italy. I don't even believe we're technically better than Italy. But in terms of like you say, athletic ability, pace, power, I think we do have the advantage, and we need to play into that in that game, no doubt. Yeah, I think if Italy turn up, they should win. But to be honest, I want England to win. Yeah, that's how I see it, bro. In all honesty, that's how I see it. Jiho Park, big up to you, sir. Yeah, rip your car. Hopefully more than 10 people can turn up to the funeral. I see it, Adair. I'd like to see Derek Chisora, Chris Abriola next. I mean, it'll be a fun fight, but I mean, I'd rather see Derek Chisora fight someone like, I don't know, Murat Gassiev. Let's get that fight. What's your favourite World Cup? Mine is Germany 2006 because it was my first World Cup. In 2002, I was 2 years old. My favourite World Cup, actually, believe it or not, was 2018. I thought 2018 was a really, really good tournament. Some good goals, some great games, good football. I thought 2018 was really good. 2014 was decent. I felt 2010 was terrible. 2006 was decent. I don't really remember much about 02, to be honest. 1-1 after extra time. I don't know who'll win the penalties. Hopefully it doesn't go to penalties. Yeah, the Londoner, 100%. Yeah, Italy look very solid. Like I say, man, just a really well-built team, Italy. COVID outbreak story is far-fetched. First thing all would have done is ensure COVID jab and testing before entering premises. On the off chance it's true, but probably an infect agent is the culprit. Yeah, I know, man. We'll see, man, what happens with that Wilder Fury situation. We'll see. We'll see, man. It's disappointing, man. I mean, ultimately, it wasn't really the fight we wanted to see, but I kind of accepted it for what it was, and I was somewhat looking forward to the third fight, believe it or not. But now it's been pushed back further. It's just a kick in the bollocks, man. And also, there were some good fights on that undercard as well. You know, like FA Ajagba, Frank Sanchez. I was really looking forward to that fight. England 2-0 win. We have better players. What are you talking about? Come on, you Lions. England, England, England. Hopefully you're right, man. I'm just being pessimistic. You know, we've gone through so much heartache. I can't sit here being confident. I really can't, because I'm not confident at all. It's pissing down the rain now outside. Yeah, people call Fury the king of the heavyweight division when it should be AJ. To be honest with you, AJ Morningstar. For me personally, I don't really have like an outright king or outright number one. These guys need to fight each other. Joshua Fury needs to happen to reveal that. But until that happens, I've not really got a set number one, if that makes sense. Exactly, G-Man. Yeah, 2010 was awful, G-Man. Yeah, in South Africa, really boring football. The only thing I can remember from that World Cup is the Vuvuzelas, whatever they're called. You know, those fucking noisy trombone things, whatever they are. AJ's done nothing since 2017. I think that's a bit unfair, man. I think that's a bit unfair. He beat Povetkin in, 2018? I thought that was a good win, to be honest. I thought that was a good win. If I play a bit like Denmark. Wilder doesn't deserve a third fight. I mean, in terms of like the sporting aspects, you're right, but I mean, if there's a signed contract, then he's entitled to it, I guess. There's not really too much we can do, you know? So it has to happen by court of law. So it's one of them things, man. I tried to make the best of it. I was looking forward to it, but now it's been pushed back again. I don't know, man. I don't know. Do you know who Joy Noine is? I'm not sure if I pronounced his name right. Got no idea, bro. No idea. How far do you think Briedis and Gassiev can go at heavyweight? I think they'll be good world-class contenders, and I'd give them good odds against Parker and the Helenius Kaunaki 2 winner, for example. Yeah, I mean, I actually think Gassiev is going to prove a lot of people wrong at heavyweight. He's a big dude. He's 6'3.5". That guy cut a lot of weight to make cruiserweight, so I actually think Gassiev in particular is going to be a lot more healthy at heavyweight. I think he's going to be punching a lot harder. His base skill set is pretty good. So, and he's still pretty young. He's 27 years old, believe it or not, Gassiev. So I think Gassiev will actually do well. I can easily see Gassiev becoming a top 10 contender at heavyweight. As for Briedis, not really sure, to be honest. He's got the skills, but is he a bit too old now? Who knows? No, I read it, bro. I caught it. To be fair, even if France had not scored the handball goal, it would have went to penalty, so no guarantee we would have gone through. Yeah, that was a big robbery, man. France Ireland in 2009, I think it was. That was horrible. Wouldn't be surprised to see Fury at Wembley on Sunday. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, bro. Yeah, I've never liked Tyson Fury. I used to like Tyson Fury way back in the day. Basically up till the Klitschko fight. That's when I started to dislike Tyson Fury. Yeah, decent little fight, James. Decent little fight. That's for the European title, I believe. Petar Milas, unbeaten prospect, beat the likes of Francesco Pianetta, Kevin Johnson. He's a tidy boxer, relatively busy, but not really a big puncher. I'd imagine Tony Yoka wins. But, you know, Tony Yoka's not looked too good in his last two fights, so decent fight. Decent fight. I'll watch it. If I'm available on the day, I'll watch it, no doubt. No doubt. But yeah, I like that fight. See, that's the sort of fights we should be getting in the heavyweight division. Prospect versus prospect. I love those sort of fights. I love those sort of fights, man. Exactly, same here. Great co-main event for Wilder Fury. They should just do FA versus Frank Sanchez main PBC card. I agree, bro. I agree. Yes, big up to Felipe in the chat as well. How's it going, Del Boy? Hopefully you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good, bro. I'm doing pretty good. Not too bad at all. Could be worse. Could be a lot worse. Not been the greatest of weeks, but it could be a lot worse. Yeah, these guys do need to fight each other. As it is, we only have Fury smacked down of Wilder, which for me puts him number one. That's fair. Yeah, the Spain team in 2010 was glorious. Yeah, I preferred them in Euro 2012. I think that's when they played their best football. Whenever they smashed Italy in the final, that's when I felt they played their best football, personally. No idea, Felipe. Hopefully it doesn't get moved. Hopefully they can just do one big card without the main event. Just put it on regular PBC. Do you think Canelo will fight Dimitri Bivol next at 175 for his WBA title? I think it's a harder fight than Caleb Plant. What are your thoughts? Great stuff, bro. Well, I certainly agree. I think it's a better fight than Caleb Plant. I think Dimitri Bivol is a much more technically astute boxer. He's got a better gas tank. I think he hits harder than Caleb Plant. I think he's a better mover. I just think Bivol is levels above Caleb Plant, to be honest. So yeah, despite Plant being for an undisputed fight, I'd rather see Bivol. I think Bivol gives Canelo a much harder fight, to be honest. I would take Maurice Hooker to beat Sergey Lipinets. I think Hooker's got more in the tank. You know, Lipinets got beat the fuck up against Jaron Ennis, whereas Hooker against Virgil Ortiz, yeah, he was getting beaten up, but he was actually showing something back, kind of thing. He was valiant in there for a while. So I would say Maurice Hooker. Yeah, Jared Anderson lit him up in sparring, so he poured orange juice over a COVID test. Canelo Alvarez is my favourite boxer. Fair enough, bro. Will Plant fight Benavidez if the Canelo fight won't be made? Absolutely not. In my opinion, Caleb Plant wants nothing to do with David Benavidez. He's never convinced me that he wants that fight. I think Benavidez beats the fucking piss out of him, to be honest. I've got Hrgovic. Hrgovic, either you deal late stoppage, but while in his game, he's tough. He'll come to fight. And yeah, I want to see a resolution to that Hrgovic situation. That's a fucking joke. The whole of the IBF rankings basically ducking Hrgovic for a title eliminator. You know, if you beat Hrgovic, fair enough. The Hrgovic fight may not give you the most money, but if you beat Hrgovic, you're in line to fight for a heavyweight title, and millions of dollars then will be on the line. So these guys they're just not backing themselves, unfortunately. Big up to BG London in the house. Who do you predict will be the next heavyweight champion? Do you mean like successful heavyweight champion, long reigning kind of thing? So after like Joshua Fury, Wilder go, or once they get to their end, I would say maybe Filip Hrgovic is up there with a good shout. Bakadir Jalilov is another good shout. I like Jared Anderson. I think he's a good prospect. There's a few names out there. Big up to Shadow Boxing. Is Hrgovic the best heavyweight in the world now and being viciously ducked? No, I wouldn't say best heavyweight in the world. Best prospect, maybe, yeah, but not best heavyweight. He needs to prove a lot more. And I know that's hard when nobody wants to fight you, but, you know, that's part and parcel of boxing, unfortunately. Out of Gassiev, Sanchez, and Ajagba, whose age is most believable? I would say Ajagba, to be honest. I would say Ajagba. There's no way Frank Sanchez is 28. That's just impossible. That's bullshit. Gassiev, I mean, maybe he just had a hard life. Who knows? Do you see Canelo becoming undisputed in any division? I don't see Plant happening at all. Mayweather never became undisputed neither. I think Canelo. I actually think Canelo will fight Caleb Plant. I think that fight will get made. Yeah, Caballero Rivas, that'll be a good fight. Adair. I would take Rivas, but it'll be a good fight. I heard David Benavidez will go down to fight Charlo at 160. What the fuck? That's hella weird. Yeah, he can't make 160, man. David Benavidez, no way. No way. Casemiro or Donaire. If they fought, I would actually take Donaire, to be honest. I think Donaire knocks him out, but yeah. Yeah, Jared Anderson fucked up Tyson Fury. That's why Fury cancelled the fight. You never know, man. You never know. Big up, Del Boy. I knew my dog was going live after this Fury Wilder pullout news. Yeah, man, it's disappointing, isn't it? It's disappointing, bro. But it's the heavyweight division, man. It's like that fucking... It's just, it keeps on slapping us in the face right now. Hopefully Joshua Usyk gets announced. That'll make me feel a bit better. That's a great fight. Exactly. Exactly, crazy D3. He has problems making 168, exactly. So he'll never make 160. It seems like it's going to happen. Who have you got? Canelo or Beterbiev? I would say Beterbiev, to be honest. If there's no rehydration clause, Beterbiev. I think he's just too big, too strong. Yeah, can't believe Fury pulled out of the show after giving it the big one for the past few months. Absolutely embarrassing. Yeah. I mean, Tyson Fury's never been the most reliable character, has he? I've never really understood why he's got such a big fan base, Tyson Fury. But there you go. Never really been one of my favourites. I used to like him back in the day, but I would say Hrgovic by knockout. I think Makhmudov is dangerous early on, of course, but Makhmudov he leaves far too many openings, to be honest. Carries his hands too low, and against a guy like Hrgovic, who's a bit taller, a bit longer, and can throw straight punches, I think Hrgovic knocks out Makhmudov. Would be a great fight. Very good fight. Exactly, Geo Park. Benavidez would need to get his skin peeled off to make 160. He can barely make 168, exactly. Yeah, that's for a regular title, I believe, Haydar. I think it's for a regular title, but it's an okay fight. I would imagine Kanzu overwhelms him. Leewood's going to have a bit of success, but yeah, Kanzu wins that fight, maybe even by late stoppage. Yeah, why not, BG London? I mean, Davic is calling for it. Nobody else wants to fight Hrgovic. Why not? Like you say, though, it's a fucking mismatch. But there you go. I'll watch it, though. Yeah, DAZN willing to let Canelo their bread. DAZN willing to let Canelo their bread and butter fight on Fox versus Caleb Plant. Is that a joke? Business must not be going well for DAZN to even consider that. Yeah, but I don't think Canelo's got an exclusive contract with DAZN anymore. I think Canelo right now is a free agent, basically. I think he's a free agent because he signed a free fight deal with Eddie Hearn and DAZN, and that's now expired. So he fought Callum Smith, Yildirim, and Billy Joe. So that deal is now expired, and essentially Canelo is a free agent. Big up to Michael Van Gerwen. Salute to you, sir. I would say Dustin Poirier is the safe bet. Yeah, Zhan Kazabutsky is the decent prospect. Adair Penance. He's actually signed with Frank Warren now, Kazabutsky. It's too early to say, ultimately, Brandon, but early signs of Jared Anderson, I actually quite like what I see. It's good to see a heavyweight work the body. He looks quite comfortable up close and at mid-range. Puts his shots together well, decent hand speed. I think he looks like a good little prospect. Or, well, good big prospect. I think he looks decent. Again, it's too early to crown him the future heavyweight champion, but he's definitely a good prospect. Brandon, he says, in my opinion, Anderson should have gone to Matchroom. Yeah, would have been interesting. But I think Top Rank are the best when it comes to matchmaking, Brandon. In terms of getting the right fights at the right time, I would trust Top Rank more than anybody. So I think he's made the right choice right now. Maybe in a couple of years when he establishes himself, that's when he moves to a Matchroom. Yeah, I think it'll be a good fight, Joey. I think Mikey Garcia beats Prograis. I've got Prograis on points. Be a good fight though. That fight is looking very likely now, actually, for the zone. That's the sort of fight we need. Great fight. Hopefully that fight's a title eliminator as well at 140. That'll be a great fight. Exactly, Soler. Yeah, David Tua wasn't the most skilled heavyweight, but on any given night he could beat anyone if he landed. Yeah, that left hook was nothing to laugh at. Ask John Ruiz. He got leveled. Yeah, exactly, Joey Rizzo. I mean, pull the fight back 1 week. Dang, it's a pay-per-view card. Let the fight happen, or get Charles Martin versus Wilder for the main event. Why not, man? Why not? Fucking chuck Dillian White in there. Why not? Apparently, Eddie Hearn saying Dillian White will take that fight on short notice. Why not? Be a good fight. It's not going to happen, obviously. Yeah, you can't give people credit for fights that haven't happened. So Hrgovic isn't the best, but IBF ranked guys are ducking him as an absolute joke for sure. Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. I think a lot of people in the trade rate Hrgovic very highly. Like in boxing, a lot of people rate him, but we need to see it in the ring. Ultimately, I mean, he's not really even fought a contender yet. He's fought a lot of journeyman, faded guys like Amir Mansour. He's not really fought any elite guys yet, or top 10 guys, or even top 15 guys. So we need to, we'll see where Hrgovic goes. We'll see who he fights next. Yeah, exactly. Crazy D3. If Jamal Charlo says I want Benavidez, he means Jose, not David. Yep. Do you think Beck the Bully got exposed, or he just got caught and can come back? I mean, technically, he did get exposed. The flaws in his game got exposed and he got knocked out. But, that doesn't mean he can't come back. He's got a lot of good attributes. Great body puncher, hits hard. His feet are very quick. But, defensively, he needs to improve on a lot. If he does improve, I think he can go a fair way in the sport. But ultimately, it's a big rebuilding job for Bektemir Melikuziev. But why not, man? He can come back. I mean, look at Badu Jack, for example. Badu Jack got knocked out in 1 round by Derek Edwards, and he came back to win a title. So there you go. I mean, it can be done, but there's a lot of work there for Bektemir. Yeah, man, Caleb Plant had an easy IBF route to get to that title. Dude is way overhyped, I agree. But yeah, Beck's defense got exposed, but he's got plenty of time to fill that hole, I agree. Yeah, I'll watch it, Haydar. I'll watch it. I'm looking forward to seeing Lyndon Arthur back in the ring. I'm looking forward to seeing Lyndon Arthur. And you've got what's the dude's name? What's the guy's name? Dennis McCann on the bill as well. So yeah, I'll watch it. It's a decent little card. It's not too bad at all. I hope boxing goes a similar way to UFC, with the best fighting the best more frequently, not obsessing over BoxRec stats. I agree, the Londoner, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. I think for that to happen, there would need to be one big powerhouse in boxing, like one super promoter kind of thing, where they have most of the talent. That's what would need to happen for us to get a UFC model. But I mean, I wish, bro. I wish we got the fights we wanted on a regular basis. I mean, we should be getting world-class fights every weekend, basically, but it's not happening. It's not happening. Do you think Canelo Golovkin 3 will happen? I don't think so, personally. And do you think Golovkin's got a chance, or does Canelo stop him? Golovkin's always got a chance with his power, but in a third fight, I would take Canelo clear on points this time, like decisively on points. Yeah, Canelo seems to hit harder than anybody in the weight class that he moves up to. Yeah, interesting, isn't it, Soler? Very interesting. He couldn't put a dent in Shane Mosley at 154, but he's knocking out light heavyweights. Makes you think, doesn't it? It makes you think. Did you see Jake Paul's tweet about Dana White? Not usually a fan, but fair play to him. He totally destroyed that bald clown. I didn't see it, bro. 24th, I heard, BG London. I think it's the 24th of July. It was supposed to be. It was supposed to be the same day as Fury Wilder 3. Oh yeah, that'll be a good fight, Geo Park. But I think Makhmudov takes out Rosansky cleanly. Honestly, Rosansky will come to fight though. Exactly, Shadow, exactly. Can Teofimo Lopez beat Taylor, Prograis, Ramirez, or even Baranchik? I think he could actually beat Baranchik, to be honest, given what happened to Baranchik in his last fight. But I would favour Ramirez, Taylor, and Prograis to beat Teofimo. But I do believe he can beat Baranchik, yeah. Which domestic fights are pay-per-view worthy? Do you mean like just purely like British versus British? Well, Fury, Joshua, White Fury, White AJ2. That's really it off the top of my head. Maybe White versus Akole if Akole moves up. Yes, big up to Nordic. He says Hergovich is the boogeyman. It's looking like that. It's looking like that, bro. I'll take Benavidez. If it's all on the up, I'll take Benavidez. Yeah, exactly, Nordic. Again, he's got a lot to come back from. It's not going to be easy, no doubt about it, but I wouldn't necessarily completely rule him out. But at the same time, I do recognise he's got a big job on there. He really has got a big job there to make it back. But, you know, stranger things have happened. Like I said, Badu Jack, for example, got knocked out in a round by Derek Edwards, who was like a journeyman at the time. And he came back and had a great career, a great run at world level. So Bektemir is still pretty young. He does have a lot of good attributes. So he can come back, no doubt. No doubt at all. Yes, big up to Pigeon in the chat. Salute to Pigeon, man. Out there in Birmingham. I've not been to Birmingham for a while, man. Everyone hates on Birmingham, but I always found it a good night out, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I always enjoyed it out there, man. But I like those Brummy accents on women, though. So maybe I'm just a fucking weirdo. Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows? But yeah, the CJNG, not to be trifled with, man. Not to be trifled with. Yeah, boxing's been there lately, putting big fights aside. Yep, indeed. I was saying this the other day, actually, on I think it was Twitter, maybe. One thing I noticed, right, boxing these days, from a UK perspective, we're missing these big rivalries like Froch Groves, Eubank versus Ben, Groves de Gale. We're missing these sort of rivalries in boxing. To me, Joshua Fury doesn't have that same feel. Doesn't seem organic like Froch Groves or Eubank Ben, de Gale Groves. I miss that sort of grudge domestic matchup. That's what I miss. That's what we need right now. A bit of a grudge match domestically. You know? What do you think about Conlon versus Dehaney? I'm rooting for TJ, but he didn't look too spectacular in his last outing, and he's been inactive, so it's not looking good for him. Yeah, exactly. He lost to Baluta, who Conlon beat. And yeah, TJ Dehaney, since that Danny Roman fight, hasn't looked the same fighter. So I would favour Conlon, but if TJ Dehaney can actually rewind the clock, he could beat Mark Conlon. Warren's doing a fight camp type thing announced next weekend. Interesting. Exactly, the Londoner. It's not that boxing has less talent these days. There's a lot of talent out there. But, you know, promoters are not willing to work with each other. It's always a big pissing contest about pay-per-view numbers and A side, B side, all this shit. And sadly, the Londoner, a lot of boxing fans are not like me and you and the rest of the chat. There's boxing fans out there who would rather talk about numbers, who would rather talk about pay-per-view buys, rather than actually pressure these guys to take these fights. I mean, this past couple of weeks, I've been hearing from Tank Davis fans saying this guy's the biggest star at 140 and he doesn't need Josh Taylor. I mean, what type of boxing fan are you if you don't want to see these big fights? Oh, Tank's the biggest star at 135 and 140. He doesn't need any of these guys. What kind of attitude is that? I want to see Tank fight Loma, Josh Taylor, Teofimo, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. These are all great fights, man, but certain people out there don't want to see them. Yeah, Warren's got he's got a weak stable right now. I agree. Still though, like the power differential then till now is vast, and it is questionable, especially considering he's been popped. Please go to Dell's other channel, Disturbed Reality. Yes, sir, man. It's popping off on that channel. It seems to be popping off quite well, which is nice. Me being the fucking idiot I am, though, none of my videos get monetized. There you go. But it's good fun, man. If you can call that fun, it's kind of interesting. Zach Parker versus Eubank Jr. Oh, Eubank Jr. beats him in my opinion. He's the guy based out in it's not Germany, is it Argentina? Maybe. I've only seen a little bit of him and I don't rate him a dear. I don't rate him. I rate the other Cuban. Is it Jose Lauderette? Lauderette, I think his name is. He looks decent. I would lean towards Canelo, to be honest. Yeah, 21 is a grown adult age. He was 40 or so. Mosley was a 40-year-old veteran at the time. Exactly. Yeah, Nick Webb versus Fabio Wardley. I actually quite like that fight, BG London. I think that's a fun little fight. I think Fabio Wardley is the naturally more gifted athlete. He's quicker, more explosive. But Nick Webb is a strong kid. He's got power. He'll come forward, throw a lot of shots. Defensively, though, I think Nick Webb leaves a lot to be desired, and I think he'll get knocked out coming in, kind of thing. Nick Webb will get knocked out looking for the knockout, I would imagine. But it's a good fight. Yeah, Hrgović is my favorite heavyweight for a few years now. He's being ducked. I agree. Totally agree. Totally agree. In terms of the Hrgović duck now, do Ajagba Bakole expect to work their way into world title? In terms of Hrgović, the Hrgović duck, how do Ajagba and Bakole expect to work their way into world title fights otherwise? Exactly, bro. I mean, Martin Bakole is not exactly a household name, is he? That guy's in no position to be turning down that sort of fight, as far as I'm concerned. He needs to be taking that sort of fight. It's a great opportunity for him. Massive opportunity. Fat birds with Brummy accents. Oh, dear, man. Dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. If I didn't laugh, I'd fucking cry. I give Pac-Man a good chance against Spence, but then I think he was going to fight Conor McGregor before this fight got arranged. Maybe he's past it now. Yeah, I think if Pacquiao's the same guy from Thurman, we are in for one hell of a fight. Hell of a fight. I think the key for Manny Pacquiao in that fight is to get in and out. If you look at the Sean Porter fight, I felt Sean Porter was a bit guilty of being too greedy in that fight. So he would rush Errol Spence Jr., let go of a combination, but he would sit in the pocket too long, and then eventually Errol Spence Jr. would respond with his own combination. The thing is, if you put shots together against Errol Spence, usually he just shells up. He doesn't throw much back when he's being attacked. And that's the mistake that Sean Porter made. He made his attack, and then he stayed there too long for Errol to get his work, but get his own back, kind of thing. So Manny in this fight, people talking about stamina. Most important thing for Manny in this fight is his legs. You know, he needs to be getting in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. His punch output's always going to be good enough, but it's the foot movement for Manny Pacquiao in this fight that's going to be the key, in my opinion. But it's a very interesting fight. I really like that fight. When Usyk beats AJ, what's the next move? Oh, fucking hell. Rematch. They got a rematch clause. So if he beats Joshua, it's a rematch with Joshua. Joshua's got a rematch clause. And by the way, I don't blame certain guys for taking rematch clauses, but it is what it is. I mean, I'd rather see none of them, but certain guys in the sport are always going to have that advantage when they're like a A-side fighter. Does Charlo have a chance against Benavidez? Not, in my opinion, at 168, Benavidez wins. I do believe so, yeah. I think Gassiev can go far at heavyweight. And do you think he can go further than his Russian counterparts, Sultan Ibragimov and Povetkin? I think he'll go further than... well, Ibragimov won a world title, as did Povetkin. Well, Povetkin won a regular belt. Is he going to do more than those guys? It remains to be seen. But I do believe Gassiev will actually be a surprise at heavyweight. I think he'll surprise people. I really do believe that. So what you're saying is shadow boxing. I'm still green. I'm not even in my prime yet. "35 is a good age, indeed." That's the thing. That's one good thing about being a man. If you have your shit together, and you take care of yourself relatively well, then we age quite well, man. You know, we age quite nicely. Yeah, I like Briedis, Pigeon. I've always liked Briedis' skill set. I think he's a very underrated boxer. Really, really good counterpuncher. Really good counterpuncher. Yeah, I think Dubois quit, but at the end of the day, I wasn't as hard on Dubois as a lot of people were. I understand it in certain circumstances. You know, if you think your eye's fucked and you think if you think there's serious damage to your eye, I can understand it, man. I've got no idea what Dubois was feeling, but you know, if it was what they say it was, you know, damaged nerves, whatever they said it was, I can understand. I can understand. Do you think there's more money to be made from endorsements, etc. nowadays? So it's more valuable to keep a hyped profile than actually making money fighting? Yeah, that's a good point. Ryan Garcia is a great example. I mean, if Ryan Garcia got knocked out by Tank Davis, would he still have that same value commercially? Who knows? That's a good fight. Shakur Ryan at 135. I think Shakur is a better boxer, to be honest, but I'll take Ryan. I think he's just a bit too big. Taylor should avoid Davis. Davis has not earned a shot yet. I mean, that whole situation's fucking nonsense, man. First and foremost, Tank Davis needs to settle on a fucking weight class to begin with. I want to see Tank Davis fight at 135 and challenge those guys. That's what I would like to see. Dubois was on my Facebook friends list since he was a kid, but he just let me down after what he said about Joyce's mum. But hey, that's boxing, I suppose. Yeah, that's the only time he's really let himself down, when he was mentioning Joyce's mum. I think he was trying to be clever, and he ended up looking like a fucking dickhead. I just don't think Dubois is all that intelligent, to be honest. I don't think there was any malice behind it. Well, I say that. It was a horrible thing to say, but, you know, I think he was just being a bit of a fucking idiot. Yep, that's true, actually. Yeah, Erkan pulled out. Murat Gassiev is now fighting Michael Wallace, who fought Joyce Ajagba and Yoka. Exactly. Yeah, Gassiev will knock him out. I like both fights, BG London, but I really, really like that F.A. Ajagba Frank Sanchez fight. I think that's a brilliant fight. Yeah, Wilder's responsible for this by allowing Fury into this. We could have undisputed if Wilder fought AJ, but no, Wilder decided to cherry pick Fury and got knocked out. Now Fury's delaying fights. Yeah, it's a whole big clusterfuck, Michael. It's a whole big clusterfuck. I'm kind of past caring, man. I mean, wake me up when we get there. No, I'm not. I'm personally not, no. I've never seen him, Jiho Park, Angel Fierro. Never seen him. I think it was a good pickup by Hearn. In his early 20s, Fierro already proven himself to be better than Tennyson and Ritson. I don't think I've seen Fierro fight before. I'll need to check him out. What's up, Dale? Hopefully you're well. With all of the stuff coming out on faking COVID tests, is it conceivable that the Fury team have done this deliberately as camp went bad? I wouldn't be surprised, JB Low. Things like that have happened in the past, when fighters feign injury to get more time or even get another fight. I mean, look at David Haye and Manuel Charr. So David Haye was supposed to fight Manuel Charr. He got a supposed injury, and when he came back, he signed to fight Tyson Fury. And also that fight never happened at the end, but still, that sort of thing happens. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it, Stalair. I would love to see it. Would be a great fight. Yeah, you're right, JDav. Yeah, I mean, he looked vulnerable against Molina. He got hurt in that fight as well. He got buzzed. He definitely got buzzed. And Webb is very, very limited, but what he does do, he throws his shots, he puts his shots in bunches, he's got power, and he'll come to fight, man. So if Webb actually has Wardley hurt, Webb is very dangerous. I think that's a good fight, man. I think that's a good little fun fight. Yeah, exactly, Nordic. I know what you mean, man. I know what you mean. I'm just totally I'm disappointed in the heavyweight division. That's all I can really say. That's true, the Londoner. If Spence wins, he beat an old man. If he loses, then yeah, he's going to get a lot of criticism. Yeah, the Scottish accent's decent. The worst has got to be Geordie, surely. No offence to any Geordies out there. Is it coming home or another 30 years of hurt? Obviously, my heart says England, but my head says Italy, to be honest. I can't sit here and say, oh, England are going to win and be confident. I'll be lying to you guys. My head says Italy. My heart says England. We'll see. James says, I'm actually the worst matchmakers out of the top promoters, accountants by nature. Yeah, I think some of the matchmaking for Matchroom hasn't been the greatest, has to be said, with like prospects and whatnot. But it is what it is, man. They need someone like me in there. Or any one of you guys would do better. Wouldn't be surprised, man. It's a great fight. See, that's a fight that has me excited, bro. That's a fight that has me very excited. That'll give me some more interest in the heavyweight division. Hopefully it gets signed sometime soon. Do you think Munguia could stop Golovkin next year? After he fights Gabe Rosado, how would that fight end? I think Munguia could overwhelm Golovkin. It's a good fight, bro. See, I still see people saying Golovkin easily beats Munguia. I think that fight would be a bit of a war. I would still take Golovkin, though, in a war, but I think it's a hard fight. And I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be completely shocked to see Munguia win it, but I would say Golovkin beats him, maybe late stoppage. Yeah, not yet, Max, man. It's getting a bit fucking concerning, isn't it? It's getting a bit concerning. So many small men are fighting at heavyweight now that people can build a record against blown up light heavyweights. Exactly. I saw that. Yeah, the balloon exercise. Yeah, the balloon was still had quick. It was quicker than Andy Ruiz's feet. I'll give him that. Usyk was very lucky not to get KO'd by Chisora a few times in the first few rounds. Can't see him putting up much of a challenge. I think he'll be all right, man. Chisora's like stylistically, just like completely different, man. He's a swarmer. He'll close the distance quickly. He'll hit you low. He'll use his head, elbows, shoulders. He's one of those guys who makes it really, really rough, really, really horrible in there. There's not many guys like Chisora in the division, so I think that was just a style thing for Usyk. But I still felt Usyk won that fight quite handily, to be honest. Like 8-4, 9-3. Didn't Abragamov fight Shannon Briggs? Yeah, he did. He did fight Shannon Briggs, and he beat him, I believe. Yeah, because Shannon Briggs beat Sergei Liakovic by like a 12th round knockout, and Abragamov beat Briggs. Yeah, you're right, Pigeon. Yep. Yeah, AJ. Joshua always has a rematch clause. He fights for Eddie Hearn's rematch room. Yep. That's always going to be the way, though. When you get to that level, generating that sort of money, these guys are always going to have rematch clauses for the most part. I would lean towards Hrgovic, but hard fight to call. Hard fight to call. And I've doubted Joyce before and been wrong, so there you go. Exactly, that's what I'm saying, Max. See, I always describe that fight, Max. It was a hard fight in terms of physically. It was a hard fight for Usyk, no doubt about it. But in terms of scoring criteria, Usyk won that fight easily. Does that make sense? So he won the fight clearly, in my opinion, like 8-4, 9-3. But in terms of like the pure physical nature of that fight, it was hard. But a lot of what Chisora was doing wasn't really effective scoring work, kind of thing. Yeah, another underrated guy is Joe Joyce, but he's just a bit too slow. With Joe Joyce, though, I don't think his feet are slow. His feet are actually quite quick. Joe Joyce actually has decent footwork, to be honest. He glides around quite nicely, maintains good balance, closes the distance quite quickly. But yeah, his hand speed isn't the greatest. Yeah, no doubt. Joyce is solid. Tank Davis should be his own man and not a puppet for Mayweather. I agree. Because watching Tank fight is actually quite entertaining, man. If he took the fights we want, I'm sure we'd get some great events. AJ seems washed up to me because an in-shape Andy Ruiz wrecked him. I can see why he wants Usyk though, because of the size difference. I think Ruiz takes AJ in a trilogy. I'll be honest, yeah. After Ruiz's last performance, I would take Joshua comfortably in that, But we'll see. Maybe that was just a one-off. You're not a fan of Bridgerweight, are you, Adair Penance? I don't really like the idea of it, but at the end of the day, if we get good fights out of it, then so be it. I'll watch those fights. I would take Shakur Stevenson, Razor. So Chris Colbert to me is a skilled fighter. I like a lot of what he does. He's got nice combinations, nice jab. He's quick. But against King Tug, he won that fight clearly, but he was taking far too many risks, man. Getting greedy with his combinations, staying in there a bit too long, and he was getting caught by King Tug. Now he took the shots well, but King Tug's basically a featherweight, so he can't. Chris Colbert couldn't afford to do that against someone like Oscar Valdez, for example. So I'm not sure about Chris Colbert just yet. That's a great fight, Pigeon. It's a great fight. I wonder how Joshua Joyce would go down. I think AJ may run and get a UD. One punch on target for Joe could do big damage. I'm not sure, man. It's a good fight, though. Dell's campaigning for a super heavyweight division in women's boxing. We still believe, yes, sir. We do indeed. This is a good question. Who's your favorite underrated Mexican boxers? For me, it's between Jose Luis Castillo or Manuel Medina. Yeah, Manuel Medina fought Scott Harrison, didn't he? And obviously Jose Luis Castillo, we know all about him. But underrated Mexican boxers, I always used to like Christian Majarez. If you remember him, Jorge Arce, I think was another one I liked. And if we're talking about underrated Mexican fighters today, I would say Julio Cesar Martinez. But yeah, there's a lot of guys I like. Italy 2-1 inside of 90. I wouldn't be surprised, bro. Hopefully you're wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised. Fury and Wilder don't want that Joshua smoke. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's just a fucking joke. Funny, someone mentioned Jose Luis Castillo. Had a dream the other day of him fighting. He was very underrated. Yep. Is Jose Luis Castillo a Hall of Famer? Well, he beat Corrales in the rematch. Obviously had those two fights with Floyd. First one he arguably won. I mean, let's look at his resume. I can't fucking remember it really. Let's look at his resume. So yeah, he beat Corrales. He beat Casamayor. He beat Julio Diaz. He beat Juan Lascano. Beat Stevie Johnston. He beat the remains of Jorge Paez. That's a pretty tight resume, to be honest. That's a pretty tight resume. I mean, let's be honest, yeah. If Arturo Gatti's in there, I think Jose Luis Castillo deserves to be in there. And if he got that decision over Floyd, it'd be a no-brainer. So he might have a case. Yeah, I think so as well, Lewis. I think that'll be the difference for jab. Juicy beef, yes, sir. Jerry Rizzo, Italy can't lose. Hopefully they do, man. Yeah, I agree with that. And yeah, you can see that being a problem with Golovkin's jab. You can see Golovkin kind of wearing him down with it, but it'll be a great fight while it lasts. It'll be a great fight. Yeah, I'd love to see that. See, this is another one. I've heard this yet, but I can't really find any official sources for it. It's not really been confirmed. Apparently, Golovkin's in dispute with DAZN over opponents. Interesting. Yeah, Derek Chisora has a barn door back, dude. It's built like a semi. Exactly. Guy's a strong fucking guy. I would like to see Billy Joe Saunders versus Golovkin. A strong performance in a fight like that is the only way back for Billy. And I think that's one he could win. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd still take Golovkin over Billy Joe. I think Billy Joe gives Golovkin problems early on. But as that fight goes down the stretch, I think Golovkin gets to him, to be honest. I don't think Billy Joe can stay away for 12 rounds. I think he'll make it interesting early on, though. Gervonta Davis versus Jamal James at 147 for the regular belt thoughts. I mean, I'd watch it, but not really the fight. Not really the fight I want to see personally, but I'd watch it. I'd probably favour Jamal James. He might be a bit too big. Yeah, the fight is just delayed. I'm hearing that Luke will be back in the UK for Sunday's game. Wouldn't be shocked. Maybe that's why he fucking pulled out. He wants to watch the game. Who knows? I like the idea of Bridgerweight. It would also prevent the bigger guys padding their records against the blown up cruiserweights. I mean, listen, man. When cruiserweight first came around, a lot of people were moaning about that. So if Bridgerweight comes around and we get some good fights, people will actually warm to it. I don't think really the number of divisions is the problem in boxing. It's more so promoters not working with each other, multiple belts from the same organization, multiple world champions in one organization. Things like that are the main problem in boxing. I don't think the amount of weight classes really is a big problem in boxing, to be honest, because if boxing was run correctly, I don't think the number of divisions really matters. To tell you the truth. Joyce beats AJ because he can take more than Joshua. Maybe Jonathan. Maybe. See, that's what I've never understood, Tone. I see this not just with Tank Davis, but a lot of fighters over the years. When a fighter's got like a big fan base, there's always a certain amount who's happy for him to fight C-level guys, just stay unbeaten, not really ruffle any feathers. I've never understood that mindset of boxing fans. Guys who are happy to see their guy, just fight C-level guys and tick along. Never understood it. And that's another big problem in boxing. Boxing fans are so divided. Boxing fans, they'll ride with certain promoters and TV networks. They'll accept some fuckery and chastise the other fuckery. I mean, boxing fans aren't even on the same page. Ultimately, yeah, we're going to have our differences, but we should all be united in the desire to see the best fights. But we're not even united on that. So it's not just boxing promoters. It's not just sanctioning bodies. Boxing fans have a lot to answer for as well. Like this whole YouTube thing could be a lot better than it is, man. And boxing social media could be a lot better than it is. We could use this tool to really push promoters and put pressure on them, but that's not going to happen. Yeah, Julio Diaz. Yep. Julio Diaz. There was Julio Diaz and Juan Diaz. Juan Diaz was the guy who fought Marquez. One baby bull Diaz. I used to like watching him fight, man. His fights with Marquez were sick. Yeah, I think Gatti's inclusion was out of sympathy. He had a lot of fans, though. Yeah, that's true. That is true. And yeah, he was like a cult-like figure in boxing. There's no doubt about it. So I can kind of understand Arturo Gatti, but if we're talking purely in terms of resume and who guys beat, then Gatti doesn't really belong in there. But you could argue he brought more to the sport than just resume and paper. You know what I mean? So I get the argument. I do get the argument for Gatti, but I believe there should be a certain standard for Hall of Fame. But there you go. Yeah, Golovkin Andrade would be fire. Would be a great fight. Yeah, I agree as well, Pigeon. Yep, I've got no hate on Gatti. His wife definitely murdered him. He was all people say a nice guy out of the ring, but all the wars he had was, yeah, he was struggling mentally. Yeah, indeed. He lived for boxing, Arturo Gatti. He lived to fight, really, and yeah, that was definitely part of his undoing in the end. Stuck around a bit too long, in my opinion. But that's boxing for you. It has so many stories like that. Edwin Valero, Ike Ibuche, so many stories like that. Carlos Monzon. How long can DAZN go for? Their business model is a wreck. Mexican USA and Conor Benn in the UK. Now White versus Franklin. DAZN investors need to ask questions. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, man, because I've not seen the numbers, man. So it's really hard to gauge. It's all just guesswork, really. It's all just guesswork. I hope it works out because I like the idea of all of my boxing, or a lot of my boxing, being in one place. I do like the idea of that. So I hope DAZN pans out and works well, but we'll see. Yes, Christian Mahares versus Estrada would be a war. I wouldn't be surprised that Estrada beats Mahares. Yeah, I'd agree. I would take Estrada, but I always thought Christian Mahares was a good fighter. Yeah, I think the jump from 168 to heavyweight was madness. 175 and up was too big a jump. Scraping the smaller weights would be better for boxing. One good shit and you can drop 6 divisions. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh yeah, and to be honest, Soler, like Arturo Gatti stylistically could never really fuck with Floyd. Even if he was a bit fresher, it would still be a similar fight, in my opinion. It'd still be a similar fight. I agree. Yeah, Taylor should try and fight for undisputed at 147. Take the Bud fight. I would. What's he, 35 now? Yeah, Crawford's mid-30s now. He's not getting any younger. And he's been inactive, so it's a good shout, right? It's a good shout. See, what I'd like from Josh Taylor, it looks like he's going to fight Jack Catterall next. Take that fight, defend your undisputed crown, then move up to 147, have one interim fight at 147 against someone like Josecito Lopez, just to get used to the weight, and after that, challenge Terence Crawford. That's what I'd like to see from Josh Taylor. There's not too many divisions, there's too many belts. Yeah, in the UFC, there's 8 divisions and 8 belts, exactly. Does Ugas have a better 147 resume than Bud Crawford? I think they're on par. Delorme, James, Robinson, Ramos, Figueroa, Pereira. Ugas' resume is pretty underrated. Yeah, Ugas has beaten good fringe contenders. I still think Jeff Horn's a better win than anything on Ugas' 147 resume. Having said that, though, I felt Ugas beat Sean Porter, so his resume could be looking a bit better if he got that decision. So yeah, it's one of those ones, man. That's a good idea, Pigeon. That's a good idea. I think the Boxing Hall of Fame should have an extra section for boxing personalities and people like Ward and Gatti. Yeah, exactly, bro. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Yeah, Wilder spiked Fury's coke with COVID. Have you got a favourite boxer? I know you're not a fanboy like me, Bomb Squad. I'd say Beterbiev's my favourite fighter. I would say Artur Beterbiev's my favourite fighter, and Subriel Matias is fastly becoming one of my favourite fighters. You know, the Puerto Rican dude. That guy just brings pure fucking violence to the equation. I do like a bit of Matias. I could watch that cunt fight every week. That guy just has that swarming style, size, pressure, power, punch output, raw aggression. That guy is a violent individual, man. Subriel Matias. That guy should be... I don't know, man. I like that guy a lot. Something about that guy's aura just, does it for me in terms of like the aggression and the violence aspect. Kind of those Margarito vibes with Matthias. And yeah, by the way, lads, if you could smash the like, be much appreciated. Shit fight, bro. Honestly, it's a shit fight. We're waiting for Crawford to, have a fight that's interesting, and that's a shit fight. It really is. I can't even front. It's a shit fight. Exactly, AA. There's that to consider as well. Josh Taylor's WBO super status. Yep. If he moves up, he can become Mando. Indeed. That's a good shout. Yeah, Frank Bruno, a huge personality, and George Groves, but will never be Hall of Fame. Exactly. Exactly. You heard about Eubank's son? Nope. Which one? I know Eubank's got a few sons. Let me check on Twitter. Oh, damn, Sebastian Eubank. Yeah, I've seen him fight as well, man. Okay, so he died in Dubai. Yeah, found dead on the beach. Fucking hell. 29 years old, man. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, that's messed up, man. That's messed up, man. Rest in peace. Yeah, that's it. He had a couple of fights and he never fought again. Yeah. That's crazy, man. Yeah, rest in peace, man. That's crazy. Yeah, indeed, man. Yeah, Makhmudov's gonna be one of my favorites soon. But yeah, Matias is one of my favorite fighters as well. That's what I like, man. I like, like the guys who really bring it, man. Yep, Manny was so poor. His father killed the family dog and ate to eat one Christmas. Yep. And we complain in the UK and the USA about poverty. Our poverty is nothing like their poverty, man. But yeah, rest in peace to Sebastian Eubank. Yeah, I remember seeing him fight. I forgot where he fought. I forgot where I saw him fight, but I've seen that guy fight before. Because yeah, there was actually quite a bit of expectation around him. I think he was a better amateur than Chris Eubank Jr. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's fucking crazy, man. Yeah, just breaking now. The news is coming through. Yeah, that is makes you listen, man. I've had a shit week, right, and I've been complaining. But when you see things like that, it puts it into perspective. Honestly, it really does. I'm sitting here complaining about my car breaking down and shit like that when I can sort it, really. But yeah, that's fucked up, man. Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, got to be so careful with water. I see people die a lot living in a beach town. Best wishes to the people who are close to him. Exactly, man. Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, I wonder what happens, Pigeon. He obviously drowned, but Sebastian Eubank, unrivaled. Chris's son, Chris Eubank Senior's son. That's crazy, man. That is absolutely crazy. Yeah, I remember watching him fight. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, man, rest in peace. That's all I can really say. That's such a shock. Such a shock, man. Damn. There you go, man. Life is precious. Life is precious, man. We always take these things for granted, like family members, your friends, your mum, your dad, your brother, your best friends. We always assume they're going to be there forever, man. But you never know. You never know. That is, that's fucking crazy, man. That's crazy. But yeah, man, rest in peace. Exactly, Jerry Rizzo. Yep, real talk, bro. Until it's all gone. Yep. And I think we all fall into that trap where we're not as grateful as we should be, and we take things for granted. I think we're all like that, of course, but yeah, sometimes I think we do need to take a step back and really appreciate what is important, kind of thing. We complain about minor shit and act like that's ruined our day, but as long as we're healthy and the people around us are healthy, there's not really too much you can ask for other than that at the end of the day. But there you go, man. One of those things, man. It's one of those things. Big up to Dominic in the house. No worries, LR, man. No worries, bro. Man, like Recognize in the house. Big up to Recognize for Matrix. Salute to you, sir. Hopefully you're keeping well, man. Yeah, exactly, Solaire. Exactly. Again, I'm not sure how it happened, but I'm sure more details will emerge. But yeah, I can only offer my condolences to the Eubank family. At the end of the day, that's all we can really say, innit? Exactly, Jerry. Exactly, man. Exactly. It's a weird one, isn't it? It's a weird one. Yeah, what a time to be half English, half Italian. Yep, you don't lose either way, bro. You don't lose either way. I personally felt so, LR, to be honest. I felt he quit. But again, I never really ragged on him for doing so. I think certain quits are more acceptable than others, is what I'm trying to say. I felt he had the fight beat out of him. I don't think there was much left. I think he would have been knocked out anyway. There was no power on his punches anymore. So I don't blame Joshua for living to fight another day. Same with Dubois. Billy Joe, on the other hand, was a bit different to me because all of those lies, we don't really know what was the case. But I'm not as hard on people for doing that sort of thing as others are. But yeah, I felt he did personally. I felt he did quit. Max is going in. Imagine how silly Lomachenko would make Tank Davis look. Yeah, I think he would tool him, Max. I think he would outbox him comprehensively. Yeah, I've never been to Dubai, man, so I can't comment. I'd like to go though. I'd like to check it out. Do you know what? Recognize? I wouldn't be surprised. Tyson Fury is not exactly the most trustworthy individual out there. I mean, look at the whole Vladimir Klitschko scenario. He pulled out of that fight under false pretenses, citing something else. But we all know he knew what was coming in regards to the drug thing. So it really wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't surprise me at all. At all. Or maybe the fight wasn't selling well or anything like that. I could see any of those scenarios. Yeah, he did what he had to do. I didn't find it all that enjoyable. Yeah, Galway. I wouldn't mind going there. Check it out. If I won the lottery, I wouldn't go to Dubai. I'd go to Ireland by the sea to do nothing all day. Fair enough, bro. Do you think Tyson's been eating that Mexican meat? Oh, you never know, bro. Imagine that comes out again. He failed a fucking drug test. Part 2. Can you imagine? Yeah, I mean, it's not like Tyson Fury hasn't got a track record recognised. So if it was like just a one-off and this sort of thing never happened with him, I'll take his word for it. But fool me once, shame on me, and all of that. So I've got no reason to believe Tyson Fury on anything he says or does. So I'm going to assume there's some sort of fuckery going on here, to be honest. But I think the longer this fight waits, the better it is for Deontay Wilder, in all honesty. To be honest with you, E-Machines, I don't really watch Ade's stuff all that much, if I'm being honest. I'll tune in occasionally, but I don't really watch his stuff. Indeed, he is. That's one thing I'm kind of not down with, Max, is like Tyson Fury gets so many passes in the UK. Like not just for UK, a lot of American fans like Tyson Fury, but his fuckery just goes so, I guess, under the radar, unpunished. Nobody talks about it, but this guy's a fucking sellout, man. Guy's a sellout. I liked Tyson Fury before Klitschko, and even during Klitschko fight, I liked him up until basically after the Klitschko fight, where he basically sold out all of his principles. You know, became what he said he wouldn't become. He became what he criticized Anthony Joshua for, and he's basically just a shill now. He's a corporate shill. I think he's worse than Anthony Joshua in that sense. We all know Anthony Joshua's fake, but he's been fake since day dot, right? At least that's always been the image he's portrayed. But Tyson Fury, man, guy's still masquerading as the people's champion while donning a face mask and talking about vaccines and shit. The guy can go and suck his fucking mum, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah. Yeah, exactly, Max. Exactly, I agree. Oh yeah, 100%. Just certain guys get caught, or certain guys are dumb enough to get caught, and certain guys can do more than others. I take Crawford, man. I take Crawford, but I wouldn't mind that fight though. It's better than what we do have. Joe Biden's got better footwork than Wilder. Oh dear. Listen, man. Hidden ape. If it happens, bro, I will make a video and fucking praise you to the fucking moon. Honestly. If that happens, I'll give you my channel. If that happens, you can have my channel. How about that? You can have my channel. Del, can you do a disturbed reality on the Pink Panthers laugh out loud old Yugoslavian jewellery thieves? Not exactly disturbed, but I think they're great. I've never heard of them, bro. I've never heard of them. I'll have to research that. Sounds interesting. But yeah, I mean, okay, who do you think is going to win the trilogy out of Franco and Maloney? I'm picking Maloney personally. He was absolutely robbed in that second fight. Yeah. So Franco clearly won the first fight. Maloney got robbed in the second fight, and he was doing quite well in that second fight. I'm gonna go Franco though for some reason. I don't know why. I'm gonna go Franco. Why not? Yes, e-machines. Now I've got more theories on that, but this is not the place for it because you know what YouTube's like, e-machines, and I think that's being pushed for a certain reason personally. But there you go. And again, I'm not saying mental health isn't real or anything like that. Don't get it twisted. Of course, it's real to a certain extent, but I don't want to say what I want to say because I'll get fucking shadow banned and shit. So I'll leave it at that. Pony poo sandwiches for Fury. Yep. Wild boar sandwiches. Yeah. Your world is in your mind, if you know what I mean. Indeed. Indeed. I would have taken a bullet for Fury until he drew with Wilder and then decided to fight Schwartz and not take an immediate rematch. If he could read and write, he would probably get into politics. Yes, AA boxing and blunts, and that's what I rate you for, AA, because I've seen you like praise certain fighters, and be a fan of certain fighters. But when those guys cross the line, you're one of those guys who draws the line and basically fucks them off, kind of thing. I appreciate that because a lot of fans out there are just fucking, they'll ride with their guy no matter what fuckery he does. So I gotta respect that, man. Do you think Tim Tszyu can beat Jaime Munguia at 160 after 2 more fights? I would say no. I think Munguia is a bit too physical for him right now. I think Tim Tszyu needs to. Yeah, I think Tim needs to stick around at 154. I would wait to see what happens after Jamel Charlo and Castano fight. I'd imagine Charlo wins and moves up, so I'd wait around at 154 personally. But yeah. Yeah, I'm sure Tyson Fury means well by it, the Londoner. I'm sure he means well by it, but I don't think it's. I've got see. I'd love to make a video on this. Right, it's not really a boxing video per se. It's more so a video on just my views on certain topics in society. But I'm not gonna go there, man. But I'll give it a look, Pigeon. I'll give it a look. Hang on, let me check. Adair, let me check. Oh, Rico Van Herven. To be honest with you, Adair, I've not really seen him kickbox. To be honest with you, so I can't really tell you. Can't really tell you. But yeah, Pigeon is talking about the Pink Panthers. They're old mercenaries from Soviet era. They've stolen billions of dollars globally, and only 2 of them have ever been caught since 1997. Their last job was 2019. Fucking hell, that's interesting. The more I hear from that Ade guy, the less impressed I am. Doesn't have deep knowledge or a I mean, he seems like a nice guy, Ade. He does seem like a nice guy. I think he's good at what he does, like on Talk Sport and Sky Sports. He's a good presenter. I think he speaks well. He's eloquent, but yeah, he's not like in terms of like. There's a lot of uploaders on here who know a lot more about boxing than he does, but there's a lot of uploaders out there who know more than I do. So it is what it is, man. I don't mind watching his videos now and again. I like tuning into his live streams now and again. But yeah, it's one of those, man. It's one of those. Yeah. Okay, they sold Kim Kardashian's 50 million diamonds in Paris a few years back. The Pink Panthers. Okay. Interesting. Ade's the only normie I like. Why does Jojo Diaz look like a wannabe Johnny Tapia? Where did those tattoos come from? I've got no fucking idea, bro. I'd say Carlos Adames, Jiho Park, personally, but it's a good fight. Brandon Adams coming off a good win over Sergey Boachuk, so that's a good fight. Yes, hit the like, man, indeed. Smash that fucking like. Beat it like a drum. Beat it like a fucking drum. Johnny Tapia, man. See, again, when it comes to like YouTube uploaders, bro, I don't really know anybody personally. I've spoken to G-Man and Unrivaled, but I've not really spoken to many people personally, so I can't judge anybody's character. It is what it is. Until I've met somebody, I can't really be sure. I can't really be sure, man. But yeah, he seems like a nice guy to me. He seems like a nice guy to me, Ade. I think it's possible, David. I think it's possible by accumulation. Yeah, I think it's possible. Yeah, to be honest, Assad, I'm really struggling on that fight. I'm leaning towards Jojo Diaz on points. I think naturally he's a better boxer, but I don't really think he's a lightweight either. So it's a hard one to call. I think it's a great fight, but I've got Diaz on points. But I do like the fight. It's a good fight. Yeah, I used to really like Ryan on a box talk. Yep. I remember Ryan. Yeah, I liked Ryan. Yeah, he seems okay to me as well, bro. He seems okay to me. But again, I've not really watched a lot of his content to really judge him like that. And again, I wouldn't really, unless somebody's a complete prick, I wouldn't really judge them for a YouTube video anyway, kind of thing. Because everyone, you're always going to get an impression of somebody. Maybe you've got it wrong, maybe you've got it right, but God knows what people think of me. Fucking hell. Who's this cunt? But yeah, big up to Mad Chad in the house, man. Big up to Mad Chad. By the way, I love that name, Cuntwin Jenkins. What a name that is. Oh no, it's all gone wrong for Joshua. Is what you hear when Joshua gets TKO'd in the ninth. I can hear Adam Smith saying that. But no, listen, man. Ade, to be fair to Ade, he got something. He got himself in TV and radio, so he's doing something right. I can't hate on him at all. I can't hate on him at all, man. See, me personally, I wouldn't want to work in boxing. The only thing I'd want to do in boxing is be a matchmaker for a promoter. That's the only thing I'd want to do in boxing is be a matchmaker. That's really it, to be honest. I don't want to interview people. I wouldn't want to be a commentator or anything like that. The only thing I'd want to do in boxing is be a matchmaker. And I kid you not, yeah. Some fucking promoters need to actually talk to YouTubers, man, because I guarantee a lot of YouTubers know a lot more about boxing than these fucking so-called matchmakers. Yeah. Hi Dale. Anybody know when the main card starts? No fucking idea, bro. No fucking idea. No fucking idea. That's the impression I got from Ade. He always seemed like a decent bloke. I'm going full British there. Decent bloke. To be honest with you, I got on the wrong. I got off on the wrong foot with Porky, but I think Porky's okay. You know, I think Porky's okay. He's passionate about boxing. His heart's in the right place, man. His heart's in the right place. So I think he loves the sport. Well, he clearly loves the sport. Puts a lot of time in. He puts more time in than me, to be honest. So yeah, me and Porky got off on the wrong foot, but I got no problem with Porky at all. That's the big thing for Joshua. Yeah, the stamina. Yeah, G-Man's met Ade in person, said he's a lovely fella. Oh shit, the Golden Boy card started. So Mihai Nista got dropped twice and then KO'd the dude he was fighting in a war. Was a pretty good fight on the Golden Boy card. Yeah, Mihai Nista was a really good amateur. Knocked out Anthony Joshua, of course. There you go. There you go. But yeah, we've got a relatively early start tomorrow, you know. Got a lot of shit to do tomorrow. And I've not got much time to fucking do it, man. One of those things. Porky's always giving props to you, bro. That's interesting. I've not seen many of Porky's recent videos. I watched I like the things he does with Rico, sorry. They are good chats, man, I'm not gonna lie. UCTV, I think he just got sick of boxing, bro. I think he just got sick of boxing. Yep. Conor McGregor. By showing the undercard on YouTube and Facebook. Fuck's sake, man. I wanted to watch that Nistel fight. Bastard. Is what it is, man. Who's on now? These ring card girls are too clothed for my liking. Far too clothed. It's not a good look, man. Not a good look. Oh, is it? Nice one. There you go. Maybe they heard something that we didn't know. Yeah, we was talking about that earlier. Nathan. Sad. Yeah, sad story, man. Sad story. But you know, it's one of those things, isn't it, man? It's one of those things. I agree, Max Kuckerman, 100%, 100%. No, I always found UCTV pretty chill, man. I get frustrated. Like in real life, I've got very little time for a lot of people, man. Like my patience with people over the years has got a lot worse. So when I was young, yeah, my patience was terrible in general, like in terms of waiting for things. But these days, my patience in regards to waiting for certain things to happen is a lot better. But my patience and tolerance for people as I get older just gets worse and worse and worse as I get older. Time booths and MTK company man won't call out Billy Joe Saunders. Yeah, I know. Oh, he's still on Twitter. BG London. He's still on Twitter. Nadeem. Yeah, I like Nadeem a lot. Real good dude, man. Real good dude. I like Nadeem a lot. Yep, I remember those live streams. Yep, real good streams. What happened? Yeah, so yeah, he's on Twitter. BG. He's still on Twitter, but yeah, I just don't think he's doing YouTube anymore. I guess it's each to their own, Jack. Each to their own. I like UCTV a lot. I like his content when he does upload. Anyway, I like his content. Oh yeah, 100%, man. So, yeah, I'll see this as well, Welsh Mertz. I like the YB as well. I think the YB is fucking hilarious, man. That guy is fucking hilarious. Yeah, I'm not a people person. After years of surrounding myself with assholes, I've been left with a bitter and dour-faced cunt. You sound like me, bro. You sound like me. Yeah, I'm the same, bro. I've never been a people person though. I've always kept my circle close, like small and close. Even at school, I was never one of those kids who, like to, you know, add new people to my friend circle or anything like that. Never really been that way inclined. I like to keep my circle close and tight and small, rather than be like have a load of acquaintances but no real friends. If that makes sense. Del, I remember when you came on his stream. That's how I discovered your channel. Your voice was very soothing. Yeah, do you know what, Gnome? That's one thing I've never understood. I fucking hate my voice. Like when I listen to videos back, I fucking hate my voice. But I get that a lot on the second channel, believe it or not. Oh, Tone, yeah. Yeah, man. I can't do it. Deontay Wilder. I can't. That's fucking jokes. Yeah, the YB is fucking great. The YB is fucking great. He's funny as fuck, man. Yes, I found my channel through BDA. Yeah, BDA legends, man. I've been listening to BDA for Christ. I want to say the start of 2017. Is either the start of 2017 or the start of 2018. I forget which though. I want to say start of 2017. I'll know how to find this out because somebody famous died when I started following BDA. I know I can put those two things together. It was early 2018 I started following BDA. The YB was funny until he signed for Matchroom. I just think YB's doing his own thing, man. He's a funny dude, man. You like your circle close, tight, and small. Pause. Yeah, you could clip that one, couldn't you? You could clip that one. Oh, dear. You know what I mean, though? You know what I mean? I refuse to believe you don't like your own voice. People say it should be used for sat navs or kids' bedtime stories. Oh dear. Nah, BDA are okay, man. They're Mexicans anyway, man. Mr. BDA and Boot Show, they're Mexicans. Yeah, I like YB, man. Is he affiliated with Matchroom? I don't think so, man. I just think he's playing a game. He knows what he's doing. He's having fun. He's making some money. Good luck to him, man. That's what I say. Same with Ty and Booth. Good luck to him. I'm not going to watch a YB video for deep boxing insight. I'm going to watch a YB video to have a laugh, man, because that guy fucking constantly, every single video cracks me up. The guy's hilarious, man. Exactly, Unrivaled. We've all got our own preferences and whatnot. Would you go to Mexico? Absolutely, no. I'd love to go to Mexico. Would love to go to Mexico. You know, but obviously with the second channel, I'm covering a lot of fucked up shit in Mexico, but it is still only a minority of people who get involved in that. You know, as bad as it is, and innocent people do get hurt, but you know, there are some beautiful parts of Mexico I'd love to see. I'd love to see a lot of Mexico, to be honest. It's one of those countries on my bucket list. Yeah, Chris Andre, I think, is excellent. He's another guy for me, G-Man. We're talking about, you know, like presence and delivery and things like that. I think Chris Andre would be perfect on TV in terms of how he speaks. He's eloquent. You know, I think Chris Andre is very good. Very good. Exactly, bro. Exactly, Felipe. Exactly. Mexico can be really nice depending on the location, but there's definitely some fucked up places. Exactly, yeah. It's like anywhere though, isn't it? It's like anywhere. So I wouldn't judge Mexico on what's going on with cartels and shit like that. It's a massive country with, you know, so many places to see. It's one of those things, isn't it? One of those things. And a lot of American people are actually retiring to go to Mexico. So there's obviously some parts of Mexico that are doing okay, man. And Mexico's so like frustrating looking from the outside in. It's a country with so much potential. They've got a lot of natural resources, great agriculture foundations. You know, they've got a lot going for them. They really do. Even things like lithium mines and things like that. They've got a lot going for them. They really do, man. But it's the corruption in government and the police force and army personnel who are linked with cartels. You know, that's really what's holding them back right now. But it's a country with so much potential. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yes, sir, man. You know it. You know it. Yeah, a boxing squad is great. If you want to like follow the heavyweight division in depth, boxing square's your man. And a real nice guy as well, by the way. Real nice guy. Real nice guy, man. So I've talked to him a couple of times on Twitter, like DMs and that, and he's a real nice guy, man. He's another person though who is made for like TV or radio with his voice and how he breaks things down, how he speaks. Like there are some real talented people on YouTube boxing scene in terms of how they break down boxing and whatnot. I agree. Got a lot of time for him. A lot of time for him. Yeah, Felipe. Yeah, it's called Disturbed Reality, as Yesser said in the chat. But anyway, guys, I need to wrap this one up. I promised somebody I would call them, and we are half an hour late. So there we go. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and yeah, have a great weekend. If you're supporting England, it's coming fucking home. We're gonna win the Euros. We're gonna have a fucking party, and yeah, it's gonna be fucking great. But yeah, hopefully you guys have a good weekend. Stay safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, which doesn't leave much, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. Peace out, guys.